Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a skeptic, and I woke up this morning and I started looking through the comments of the Sam Harris video I posted last night of him dismantling President Donald Trump and responding to why he won, and I saw a few comments asking that Sam Harris debate Stefan Molyneux, if I think that's how you pronounce it, but I'm not mistaken. But they're asking him to debate this guy, and I've seen this guy before. I know that he's pretty knowledgeable on philosophy, but his stance on anarchism, his stance on the way he describes the state, he's an ethical anarchist, I think that's what it's called. And they were asking him, people were in the comment section were asking him to debate him on free will, which I don't understand what argument there would be there. I mean, I haven't gone through and I haven't seen Stefan's argument from free will, but I cannot see that there would be an argument against a rebuttal to Sam Harris's argument. I mean, determinism is it's a conclusive fact. You cannot, as far as logical arguments go, there is no argument against it. I mean, you can outright just say you're not going to believe in free will and say that not all the facts have come in yet, and we can't make an actual we can't actually determine whether there is free will or not. And no, you cannot scientifically prove it, and it is not proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that we do not have free will. But as far as logical arguments go, as far as arguing for free will, I have not seen an argument that would work against Sam Harris. I cannot see anything even putting a little bit of a dent in the armor of free will, of the free will argument, of that free will is an illusion. I mean, it's absolutely solid. Everything is causality, right? We have causality, so everything is determined, meaning our brain is determined, our neurons are determined. Everything before you decide to even make a move is already decided for you in your brain. Before you even thought that thought, it was already thought for you and then given to you by your subconscious. So I don't believe that there's any room for free will there. So they just got me thinking. I was like, well, I'm going to go over and I'm going to check out this anarchy shit again, because how can so many people like this, 500,000 plus subscribers, and this guy is an anarchist? I mean, it's incredible. So I'm going to take you through one of his premises for his argument on ethical anarchism, or whatever he calls it. But just one of his points. I'm not going to go through all of them. I just think I might do that at a later date. But I just think showing you one of these, one premise of his argument can show how silly it is, and how completely far-fetched it is, and how he obviously doesn't understand how humans work. Everything that his argument hinges off is us volunteering to abide by these insurance companies called the DOSs, and it's basically his way of just replacing the government with private institutions that would run our lives according to insurance. And if we didn't fulfill a contract, then our premiums would go up and things like that. It'd basically be a contract system, a voluntary contract system, with checks and balances, but there would be no force. There would be no jailing. I don't know if there's no consequences for your action besides not being allowed to work with these institutions again, like the DOS. I do not understand how you are going to get people to abide by any of this. Now, you guys can give arguments for anarchism, and maybe I'll use a couple of those and make another video destroying those. No, just kidding. But if you want, go ahead and make an argument for anarchism, or if you side with Stefan, and put it in the comments, and maybe I'll make a little video about that later. But for now, I just wanted to show you this one premise from his argument for anarchism.
As far as collective defense goes, well, collective defense costs very little in a free society.
Collective defense would cost very little in a free society? Why the fuck are we spending so much on the military then? It is not cheap to protect a society of over 300 million people from foreign attacks, and also attacks from domestic violence within. It is not cheap. And yes, we could spend definitely less on our military right now. There's definitely a lot more money than we need being pumped into it. But to say it's cheap to defend 300 million Americans is outrageous.
Yeah, it's a basic fact of history that no nuclear-armed country has ever been invaded because the retaliatory possibilities are just too big.
No nuclear-armed country has ever been invaded. Well, the nuke was invented in 1945. Not even 100 years. And do you know how long countries have been being attacked? For a lot longer than 100 years. So maybe give it some time before you saying that just having a nuke is the ultimate defense to any foreign invasion. That's an absurd assertion on your part that just having a nuke is going to stop people from invading us. I mean, and the only reason it would stop people from invading us is because there'd be a mutual assured destruction. Not everybody has a mutual assured destruction. Some people actually do want to see nukes start to get let off and light up the sky and light up western cities. A lot of people do want to see that. So just having a show of force of nukes is not going to stop everybody from trying to invade us. It's not going to stop terrorists from trying to invade us. Also, when having a military is not just for protection from invasion of outside countries, it's also for central intelligence. It's to gather information for anybody trying to plot a terrorist act. It's for defending other countries when there's a genocide happening. I mean, this guy's an isolationist. And if you want to talk about nationalism, nationalism is isolationism, because think about it. You're at that point you're only thinking about Americans. You're only thinking about your own citizens, and to where if something's going down in another country, you know, there's just mass bloodshed, it's a genocide happening, we're not going to lift a finger because we're just taking care of ourselves, and and how dare we try to go around the world being the world police? I mean, that's fucking crazy. There's been plenty of times in history where America has actually protected weaker, more vulnerable countries.
It only takes a few dozen nuclear warheads to deter invasion of any particular geographical region.
Apparently he's okay with a show of force when it comes to nukes. Apparently he's okay with having nukes and saying, if you fuck with America, we're gonna nuke you. He's completely okay with that, I guess, but he's not okay with police. He's not okay with a central government to keep everybody in line. I mean, they're the exact same thing. The death penalty is supposed to be there to show, it's supposed to be a show of force and be, hey, anybody, if you go fucking around and killing people, we're going to kill you. And that's the same exact thing that a nuke does, as having a nuke does. It says, if you fuck with us, look what's going to happen. Now, he's going to be for force when it comes to defending the country, but he's not going to be for force when it comes to defending the civilians inside the country. That doesn't make any sense, and it goes against his own thinking. It's absolutely crazy. Who is 50-something years old and is still an anarchist? Every single one of his points hinges on the fact that we're ethical people, the fact that we would volunteer into any of this that he's talking about. And look what he says next.
Cost of defending that, couple of nukes, couple of bucks a year, maybe. So that's just not a big enough issue or cost or price that that would be a barrier to collective defense.
So Stefan's against paying taxes because he's an anarchist, right? He doesn't believe that we should have to give our money and just hand it over to the government. That's pretty much like the government holding a gun to our head and saying, hey, if you don't pay us, we're going to take you to jail. That's basically his argument for why government is unethical, because it's the same as just holding a gun to someone's head and saying, hey, give me your money, give me taxes, right? Well, how are you going to get people to pay for this defense system? How are you going to get people to pay to protect the nuke? I mean, we have to protect it, right? Obviously, there's going to be domestic terrorists that might try to get their hands on it. So how are you going to get people to pay to protect this nuke? Is it going to be by force? Because that goes against what you think. It can't be by force. And we need the nukes to protect ourselves from outside invasion, but we can't force anybody to pay to protect the nukes. Well, it seems like right there it just all falls fucking apart then, huh? How are you going to get people to pay to protect for the fucking nukes? So that's basically all I wanted to say. I woke up this morning, I saw those comments, and then I just went over to his fucking YouTube and I got mad at him. And so I grabbed my mic and I yelled into it, and then I uploaded it to YouTube. And now you're listening, so that's great. Keep listening, and thanks for all the support for people who do support me. I'm going to keep doing this because it's fun. And that's basically is what I want this channel to be, is me talking to an audience of like-minded people, and for there to be a little back and forth. And if I can get that, then I'll be happy. And that's basically what I want this channel to be. So thanks for listening if you got through this, and have a good day.